feel this.
Having a great day.
I'm so fucking happy to be here with you too. It's October 16th, the day before my birthday, and I'd like to spend my birthday in Mallorca, doing cool things with cool people, like going for a drive in the mountains with this car and this lovely lady. Hi.
Hi.
So here we are in Mallorca, having a really nice little drive. And I like to always take the day before my birthday to reflect and have a look back at sort of what I've learned over the last year, where I've grown the most. And I also like to try to spend my birthday here in Mallorca, which is a place I lived for about 3 years, and it's my favorite place in the world. You're like right between the mountains and the ocean. This is one of my favorite spots to be, to hang out, and just kind of think about life. It's actually in a cemetery of a churchyard, and when the time comes that I die, I want half my ashes to be buried here and the other half to be thrown out over the Mediterranean somewhere in an airplane. I really feel like I'm off the training wheels now in life. I'm 32, I'll be 33 tomorrow. I'm still very much acting very long term. This marks now 10 years of me being a full-time entrepreneur with no other safety net of a job or a part-time job or something, some other sort of side income. This is 10 years now of just fully figuring it out on my own. And a lot of things I've done have been like, oh, well, this will be a piece and a step that'll maybe hopefully somewhere get me somewhere. And now it's like, okay, I've learned a ton, and now it's not like, not everything is about learning anymore. Now it's like, okay, actually doing things and achieving the goals. I'm going to continue to learn a ton of things, but I feel like this phase of like learning is not that it's complete, because it'll never be complete, but it's getting to a point where it's like full speed ahead in business and in life. I'm really grateful to be in that position. Over the last year, a ton of stuff has changed, it's grown. I think the biggest part has been, that's the church bells. The business has grown a lot. In October last year was right when I was about to launch the ocean plastic backpack. We didn't have a name for it yet. Since then we named the material Shortex, and we've really started working on our sustainability side with what we're doing there, and managed to transition the entire purpose of the business towards using recycled ocean-bound plastic for a lot of the products that we're making, the lining of our suitcases and the inside and outside fabric of our backpacks. We're not there with 100% of the products yet, but it's a consistent effort that we're putting in and growing there. So that's a really positive thing on the business side, and it's resonated well in the market, and sales continue to grow, the teams continue to grow. The biggest change there, a year ago, we had a team of 7 or 8 people that were all part-time and remote, spread out all over the world. Now everyone's in New York except for one, Chris, we've been working together since 2012. Everyone else is based in New York, so that's meant a lot of changes, changing the whole team out. And that's been a really interesting learning experience, going from remote to everyone being together in New York. Every day, day in, day out is very different. And working with people face to face, had to learn. It's been great because I've learned how to deal with challenges and conflicts face to face a lot more directly, rather than dealing with things over email, where you can tend to be a little bit passive and let things slip. And ultimately it's for the best to be able to deal with things head on every day right there in person. So that's been really good. One of the biggest learnings, and one of the things that I've been working on and will continue to work on, is just being really vigilant with friends, with who I allow in my inner circle, and keeping that really tight. And I'm noticing that my friendship group is actually getting smaller, not bigger. Time is the only thing that we really have control over in our life, and it's the only limited resource that we really have. And so working on that, just being very cautious with who I give my time to, and I'm trying to very much think about it that way, I think is going to serve me well for years to come in the future. Still with Lindsay, who I talked about a lot last year. It's really great. It's the first time I've had a relationship for this length of time where it just gets better and better and better. We're past the 1.5 year mark, which has been a challenging point in the past. and it's almost 2 years, and it's just getting better and better, and I'm really thrilled to be living and enjoying life with someone who means so much to me and challenges me in all of the right ways, and doesn't call me out on my bullshit, doesn't let me get away with shit where I shouldn't. And I think that's honestly one of the key reasons for a lot of my personal growth. She's also been a huge factor for inspiring a shift in the business towards sustainability in every product, not just sort of the solar panels in a couple of them. 2 years ago, almost, I remember having a conversation with her about so climate change, is it for sure a thing? And it's embarrassing to admit that I was sort of even questioning that, but it was is that real, or no, that's science. But I want you guys to see the ocean, so I'm not just looking at it. Okay, I feel like for you to really take in the beauty of this place, it's good to get the view of the ocean. At the same time as this, feels like I'm really playing in the big leagues now and the training wheels are off, I feel like even more so I'm really thinking long term. It's no longer making a decision to will this business survive? Will I survive? It's more it's even more long term. It's okay, yes, this business will survive. Yes, I will survive. And then what? Rather than just fighting for the right to survive, it's now fighting for the right to thrive, which is a really interesting and powerful shift. It's no, the business will survive. I know I've been through enough challenges now to know that I will figure it out. I'm a survivor, the business is a survivor, and we'll figure that out. And so my decisions are becoming longer term. It's a little bit less how do I survive, but how do I thrive? So I really like that shift that's taking place. And it leads to a lot less panic. It's okay, yep, we're in bumpy waters today, fine. Keep going, stick to the course, keep going forward. And I really like how that feels on the inside. And together with that, it leads to, building my legacy starting now. I'm now really wanting to pursue my larger goals in life, which are, not just using ocean plastic in our products, but being a key driver of stopping it. There's a river project that I want to do. There's 10 rivers in the world that put out almost 90% of the plastic that ends up in the ocean. I want to work on a river blockade project for that, and I'm talking with a lot of other people. I'm now realizing, I moved to New York 2 years ago, very ego-driven, thinking that I was single-handedly gonna change the world or something. But it's not single-handed. Life is a teamwork play. To learn how to play with others, we need to work with others to make huge projects happen, and I'm just realizing how important teamwork is some of these large-scale projects that I want to tackle, and I'm really excited to be able to go after these things. So there's the river project that I want to work on. I'm going to release some more details about that soon. There's a flying car thing that I want to work on. As well, there's this one software app that I want to develop, which is a way to stay connected to people while traveling and being able to keep active. If you know of anyone that could be a CTO type co-founder person, I need a CTO and a CMO to help run this thing. I know there's demand for it, I know it'll get traction in the market, but I need the team to build it. So if you know someone, please reach out.
Now that I'm editing the video, I realize I forgot a couple of points. So here's some B-roll over a voice memo.
Another thing that's changed for me now is I'm a lot more confrontational. And don't take that in the wrong way, not confrontational like looking to pick a fight, but I'm just not willing to tolerate something I'm not willing to tolerate. I think I have New York to thank for that. It's just, generally speaking, the culture, a lot more than it ever was in Canada, which is so excessively polite, you can't get anything done. You've got to say sorry and just a little bit, if you know what you want, just ask for it. No one's going to give it to you. So you're just going to be constantly disappointed unless you actually speak up. So the challenge that's come along with that for me has been gaining a lot of clarity on what it is I actually want. A lot of times I have a general sense of something that I might want, so I would sort of ask a question kind of in and around that area and sort of see what would flesh out and see what would work. And that's actually a great way to get things done quickly if you're collaborating with someone on something where you're very flexible. But if there is something very specific and very clear that you want, it's best to just nail down what it is you want and then put that out into the world. Something I've learned through some therapy is clear is kind. If you know what you want, be clear. If you know what you're not willing to tolerate in friendship, tell the people that are in your life what it is you want and what it is you don't want. And if they're not okay with it, well then you've just saved yourself a bunch of time. And again, time is the only asset we truly have, so make the most of it. Spend time with those you truly care about. Do things you truly enjoy. You're not going to live forever, so don't half-ass anything. So anyway, that's it. This is my last day of being 32. I'm super excited about this next chapter of life. I really love taking this introspective look on what the last year has been, what I've learned, and what I'm looking towards. And it's great to then, at the tail end of the year, look back at the previous years and see what I've thought and see where I've grown, where I've changed. And yeah, I'm really glad to be more humble and more gracious and more forward-thinking and excited to take the world on and continue to charge full speed ahead with people I love surrounding me, and looking forward to what 33 has in store.